So I need 2 layers of glass. This doesn't need a lot of glass to make the belly or the pattern.
The key to this move is that after you hit the mold, giving it a really hard heat right in the flame because it'll burn away the tips of the ribs coming out of the mold.
Wait, I was going to go into the color right after I came out of the mold.
Nope, colors first. 2 coats or however many coats, then you hit the mold, then you superheat it, and then just bring it over.
Well, that kind of defeats the purpose of how I wanted to do this. Jake's not looking.
So well, she's probably not going to do it. What? What are you laughing about?
What?
While she's doing that, I'm going to prepare my clear bubble. And the timing of it is really important. It's what we were talking about a second ago. Just 1 coat. We're going to go nice and thin.
Would you let me do what I'm doing, please?
Oh, so she's doing it different than what we see here in front of us.
Exactly.
She's trying a new style, folks.
No.
That's cool. It's the experimental show. We're experimenting with new styles.
Am I twisting it up now, or are you twist it on the piece?
You bring it over as a bit, and I will spin it onto there, but I need 1 second here to cool this down.
Sure. All right, Zach, if you can see, there's little lines on this. That's what I was looking for.
So now this is just about stable. It's got a little bit of ting to it. She's got plenty of heat on it, so we're gonna go over the top, and I'm gonna lightly hold it, and you spin while we apply it on here.
I spin?
Yep, rotate.
No. All right.
Good.
Yes. So I am somewhat in an awkward position at times because I had blown glass, but then I also want to design the product. So I just needed to muscle in just a little bit of what I know to see if it will do what I think it does. But usually a designer is not a glass artist. They're just designing product. They meet with the craftsman, and together they decide if a thing can be done based on the skill set. So I was thinking this was just going in the center, and Jake put it on like the bottom 2/3 of the piece.
Yeah, it's just like playing sports, you know. You can't have a good hockey team if your defense doesn't know how to communicate with the offense. So that's what
You're running towards the wrong goal.
this prototyping's all about. We're gonna go for probably just to keep things similar, that same shape on this one, or you want to switch it up? Glow? Good?
It's okay. I'm not super fond of the push out. I kind of like it more straight-sided.
All right, we can do a straight sider. Glow. Good. Considering this move, the drinkware that we're doing, I've started teaching. I was teaching Brandon yesterday, one of our assistants, how to make drinkware. And every time you teach somebody something about really anything in life, you start to see things differently in the way that you do them. So it's been really cool for me walking through that process and thinking about what I do. And I grow every time I teach somebody something. All right, squish. Sticky.
Yeah. That's weird.
Good.
So, because it's so thick, I don't think it needs a base. What are your thoughts?
I think it could use a foot.
Okay.
I mean, it could be thick enough, yeah, if you want it like
I mean,
that. It's a little short of a glass too, is why I would give it a
okay.
foot as well.
So clear,
make it a little
or what
taller.
are we doing?
Your choice.
Okay.
So you can see that color slowly starting to come out. It is a pretty light coat, but you've got some texture in there for sure, especially when it spreads out wider here. You see some spots of it. Here comes the foot. This is kind of a difficult move for the shorter of folk to present a foot like this.
Short.
Get up and over the top. You really got to know the angle you're supposed to drop it on, but it dropped off perfect. That's something that takes quite a while to teach an apprentice how to get that drop correct. I'll take a pretty hard paddle here.
Yes, and remember zoom.
Squish.
So also,
Nice.
you guys can let us know your favorite features in the video. Sam's been having fun cropping things and editing things when we do the right shots.
So here goes the punty. We got the foot nice and stabilized. Shell brought over a punty here, which is just a little bit of glass to connect it to the bottom. I'm gonna try and line it up as on center as possible with the other pipe here. And a little cold metal of the tweezers. And this is actually on Thursdays. We start a little later, so this is the first piece we've done of the day. And the heat of the hole, as we mentioned pretty often, heats up. There's no regulator on this hole here. It's just the amount of gas you're putting into it, so it heats up throughout the day. So the first pieces of the day are always a little bit stiffer. Takes a little bit longer to heat them back up to temperature, and you got to be patient and not rush the process.
Do you want a flash it or do you want
I'm ready for it. That color is looking pretty interesting on the outside. It has kind of a matte finish to it as well.
Sorry, Zach, coming by. So I was thinking, you know, when you go in the prairie, the summer breeze grasses, and they're very faint. They're all tan colors. That's kind of the illusion it has for me. So like prairie grass.
A purple prairie grass.
So one of the things that we haven't done a ton of as well is the clear, which people always request. Now see, I think that's absolutely beautiful.
Nice straight side wall. We got the white kind of burns out a little bit on the lip wrap, so we know that going forward.
Different white? Or
Well, it's just you got to put more coats on to match to the foot, because if you think about the amount of glass we put onto the lip, it's a very tiny bit, and you're spreading it out wider and wider as you open it. With the foot, you're not really spreading it out at all. It's a large sum. You just squish it on there and shape it up. So that color that's on the outside isn't expanded at all. The white here has been expanded probably the double the length that that color was originally applied onto the surface. Oh.
now you're making me nervous.
Alright, so typically you want to have handles with a really hot core heat. Blow the bubble in there, marble it once, bring it right over. This is going to have a different type of heat on it, so we're going to see how it goes. I'm sure it's going to go just fine, but I will say it's going to be different than the typical production
Would
process
you
you
like
go
me
for.
to make a new one?
No, let's give it a try. Nice.
I aim to please. I have moments.
Yeah, see, that's the heat that we're talking about right there. Get this lined up while I still have any core heat that's different from the rest of the mug, because once that loses its original heat, if I try and bring the piece up to a temperature where I can sculpt the handle again, the whole body, especially the thin body that we've got on this mug, is going to totally warp as well. So you got pretty much one heat after you stick it on there to shape it up, and then kind of is what it is. Put that on there. We're going to get rid of the cut mark without burning the white. White burns very easily, and we can totally lose that color if you hit it too hard with the torch.
I don't know if the smaller pipe, but you can use the puffer.
What's that?
I don't know which pipe you use.
This guy right here.
So here is my philosophy. You got enough of the color on there that it makes it interesting, but with the clear body that you can see the beverage inside.
All right, how about a GA stamper?
Yep.
So there we are. Pretty nice, pretty clean. White and lavender. And that lavender definitely is more of an opaque than a transparent color. It's kind of like, got some like frosty look to it. It looks really frosty. Could
Where's
you grab
the
the
G
stamp right
stamp?
behind you? It's in the
In the cup,
in the
correct?
cup. Yep. Wow, that's interesting. That lavender has such an interesting texture that we just put hot glass right on it and it didn't stick to it. I've never seen that before to that extent. That was really wild. All right, so there it is with stamp applied. It's pretty cool, totally frosty. This part's pretty crazy. And I forgot it was lavender and white mixed in. She put the white in the craft. But again, we can't judge that color based on what it looks like now. These should look probably pretty similar, but we're definitely going to,
Who set up this bench?
we're definitely going to look at them the next day as we do all the pieces. Thanks, Mom. 2 drops of water. I think with the connection's really nice, so it should pop off pretty easy here. Beautiful. Another kind of difficult thing to do here now is torch this cut mark away without burning the white. Luckily, these punny marks are on the bottom of the piece. They're designed to be on the bottom of the piece, so we don't have to worry about it being perfect down here, but we can get it pretty darn close. All right. Into the annealer, 1,000 degrees. Nice and snug.
Very nice.
All right.